Welcome to this edition of ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennice Najib.
And today we are bringing you to, if you didn't get a chance to go, you missed out, first of all. But otherwise, we're bringing you the first Fresno Jazz and Soul Festival that's right here in the corner in front of the African American Museum, in front of a historic place.
Yes, they was playing one of my favorite songs by the Isley Brothers, yes. Between the Sheets. So I was just looking at all this.
You couldn't focus on the show. We couldn't barely get the show done this morning, right? But we also had a lot of local people that came out, like Ray Moore and the Experience. People are familiar with that band. It's quite a bit of a crowd tonight, you know, this evening, and we're bringing it to you this morning. So if you missed out, I'm sorry the event's already over, but you won't miss out next year or the next event that's here.
I'm looking at, they blocked the whole street off, yes. And they have everybody here. This is packed.
We have a lot of vendors. And a lot of African-American businesses
and
that have come out here.
And
there's always food. Can't have an event like this without the food, right? And so this particular event headlined not only Jeanette Harris, but Dwelle, and people are really familiar with, he's a very popular R&B soul artist, and he's a Grammy-nominated artist. And so Dennis Horn, who we'll be talking with shortly, yes. In the program after the break, is the one that helped to put this together, along with the help with the African American Museum and, of course, his family. Dynamic interview, and we get to hear from an entrepreneur spirit how he did it, and maybe how you can do it too, right?
Well, yeah, he gave us some good insight, as young as he is, to put this together, and he has support of his family.
Yeah, nothing like
helps.
Support. And total modest fella, so I can't wait for you all to hear that interview that we did have with Dennis Horn. And meanwhile, for the rest of the program here on Me Sunday Morning, we do want to let you know about some of the things that we'll be talking about. But first, I want to make sure I want to give a shout out to Valley Black Talk Radio, who's been showing up every week on Friday at Cafe Roma Coffee House for the fish fry and chill out time, we call it.
Yes, I love the singing. I love the fish. It's an exciting environment.
We've got
good place to be.
Some great talent that comes out. Jewel sang again.
Yes, and there's one artist that's really
Brittany.
good.
She's a poet.
Brittany, yes, a poet. She do poet from the top of her head.
Yeah, just the top of her head, just goes out there and performs. So that's amazing. We'll be able to have an excerpt of her, and you'll get a chance to see that, you know, because nothing like having young talent and have that to be the example for the next generation. I'm just saying, or the generation that's here right now. So we do give a shout out to Valley Black Talk Radio. And Valley Black Talk Radio does come on Sunday evenings from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And so that's with Mel Sanders, myself, Jewel Riversmith, and we, again, head out to those fish fries that we've been at every Friday to have some discussion and have a good time. And we will also be, after we talk with Dennis Horn, we're going to be talking about the case with Daren Miller in Madera.
Yes, a discrimination case.
It's been going on for a while.
It's been going on over 5 years right now. It's finally coming to trial, and they're going through the discoveries of it and going through the finalization of it. So he's wanting people to come out there to support him.
We'll be bringing you information about the Daren Miller interview, who will be giving us more information about the case and the trial. In fact, Aja Cruz will be interviewing him. We'll also be just going into Valley Black Talk Radio discussion to find out their latest news. We also hope that you have been watching AMPTV Now News that has been on daily, every day at 1 p.m.
Well, every day at 1 p.m.
Every day at 1 p.m. I'm surprised you don't have anything to say about that.
Yes, we're going to be dealing with the DIY, the do-it-yourself program there, and we have entrepreneurs, tips and guides, do the money stress that we're going to be pushing out.
Okay. And so actually we've been pushing that out. That was last week we pushed that particular program out, but we really just want you to get a chance to watch, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a family person and you just need those resources, those financial resources and information, that's going to help you excel. And so that's what we've been focusing on, the AMPTV Now News, and we want to make sure you get a chance to watch that. That is on Biz TV every day at 1 p.m., or you can go to our site and watch it live streaming at news.amptvnow.com. We also have Jacoya Murphy, who's one of our key segment producers, and Nicole that comes in with the feature stories talking about what's going on in lifestyle and entertainment. And I guess about once a month, we get a great feature story from Aja Cruz. So there's always more and interesting information. After the break, we're going to be talking to Dennis Horn, the debonair, extraordinaire entrepreneur who put on today's event that you are seeing this morning, the Fresno Jazz and Soul Festival, first of its kind, right here in front of the African American Museum, located on 1857 Fulton Street. There's been a lot going on here. You are watching ONME Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
Dinner can take hours to make, and who has the time? Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new Dump Dinner Cookbook. Now just dump and bake for full meals in minutes. Look at these smothered pork chops. Or this, the best pan pizza ever. Or start with chicken and mixed veggies. Add a can of creamy chicken soup, a few chunks of Velveeta cheese, and top with a can of crescent rolls. Cheesy chicken pot pie with perfect flaky crust. Or try this shortcut ravioli lasagna. Dump frozen raviolis on tomato sauce. Add fresh spinach and cheese. Layer as high as you like for steamy, melty, home-style lasagna. Stop slaving over dinner. Make delicious meals in a flash with Dump Dinners, just $10. But wait, call now and you can get my best-selling Dump Cake Cookbook. Just dump and bake for the best cakes ever. You can get Dump Dinners and Dump Cakes for $10. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-781-0038 to get your Dump Dinners cookbook on this special TV offer. It's not sold in stores, so call now or go to buydumpdinners.com. Don't miss out. Call now.
Want to be a featured DIY expert on AMPTV Now News? Have 5 years experience in the field of knowledge you want to share with millions of viewers? Great. Find out how you can earn money by helping others make their lives better. DIY, do it yourself, can mean viewers are saving money, enhancing their lives, or looking at a more efficient way of doing a task. If you've got the information to share, we've got the hookup for the digital download. Find out more by going to news.amptvnow.com. That's news.amptvnow.com. Get help with sorting your finances by following the best DIY expert advice featured on AMPTV Now News. Get in-depth information throughout the week about the experts from news hosts Julia and Lennice, who do an in-depth report of what's in that $4.99 digital download. A digital load of information to help enhance your life, business, family, and more. See the latest DIY feature this week by checking out our website at news.amptvnow.com. That's news.amptvnow.com.
Welcome back to ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennice Najib.
And we are here with Dennis Horn. We've been talking about the Fresno, this Jazz and Soul Festival, one of the first of its kind in this area. So Dennis, how are you, first of all?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about this event. What inspired you?
You know, I've always traveled to go to, entertainment like this, and I figured Fresno is not a small town. Why can't we do it? And it gets old waiting for someone else to do it. So, I just kind of put the rubber to the road and started planning for the event.
Definitely well done. I'm saying that also from a board perspective. Tell us, are you an entrepreneur? Would you consider yourself?
Absolutely. That's always been in my blood. I mean, I went to school for business, and corporate America just never really appealed to me that much. And I've always found joy in being my own boss.
Tell us how to do that. What someone's watching our program right now, and they're young, and they're saying, oh gosh, I don't know how to do that. Where did you begin?
The most important thing to me is networking. Whether it's on a business level or just a friendship level, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who's going to have a skill or talent that you can benefit from, and obviously make it mutually beneficial. So just keep pushing and keep meeting people, and just really make meaningful relationships.
Have you ever had any fears? Is there such thing as fear in your world?
Oh, absolutely. There's always fear. But preparation always defeats fear. So when you're prepared, you can always counteract that.
In business, we go through challenges, and I want to know, how do you get past those challenges?
keep pushing. I mean, that's the best advice I can give. There's always going to be a roadblock or a hoop you need to jump through. But if you really want to get it done and you're really passionate about what you want to do, you'll keep pushing.
Did you have role models that help you to move forward, help you to get to this point?
Absolutely. I mean, my parents have always supported me, and I mean, how cliche that is, but you know, they're the greatest, and they've always supported me. They're actually here today helping me staff the event. And I must shout out Ms. Devoya Mayo, who also gave me an opportunity to help start producing events a few years ago. And you know, with her help, and obviously she helped me on this event as well. You know, we've done some successful things.
Is there something that we should know about that's in store? Is something coming up next that we should be aware of?
Maybe nothing of this magnitude, not just yet, but I would like to plug our monthly Soul Lounge event, Vibe Soul Lounge, that occurs at Fulton 55 on every second Sunday.
Okay, sorry, that fly is just disturbing me, but it is not going to stop. Yeah, I'm like, he's not stopping this interview.
He wants to be part of the interview. It's okay.
And, is there any last things that you want to say?
You know, I just really appreciate all the people that came out today. It was a great turnout. Actually exceeded my expectations. And, you know, I hope we get to do an event like this for years to come.
And before we close out, I forgot to ask, who was on the docket today? Who was...
Oh, man, we have some wonderful, wonderful local musicians, starting with the dynamic Keisha and New Orleans Brass Funk Band, Viper City Brass Band. And we hit him with Espacio, which is a great local band with some awesome musicians. Ray Moore, he just finished up, and we're gonna headline the show with Jeanette Harris and neo soul superstar Dwelle.
And see, this is the local talent that's bringing this crowd out. People would never believe.
You know, we got to stop down in our own city. There's a lot of talents and there are a lot of gems, and they're not always so hidden. It's just about us, you know, giving folks an opportunity to show us who they really are and what they can be.
Dennis Horn is doing it right here in Fresno. We'd like to thank you for coming on ONME Sunday Morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And after the break, we definitely have more. We're going to be talking about the discrimination lawsuit with Daren Miller, and also following that would be Valley Black Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
You love delicious homemade desserts, but recipes take so long to make. Hi, Kathy Mitchell here with my new Dump Cake Cookbook. It's as simple as dump and bake for delicious desserts every time, guaranteed. And easy? Here's the cake mix. Just dump on the good stuff, bake, and voila, the best dessert ever. You don't need to spend hours to make homemade cakes. Get my Dump Cake Cookbook today for only $10. But wait, call now and get my amazing Dump Dinner Cookbook. Easily make meals in minutes, like my Deeply Delish pizza.
Hold on, you can also get the non-stick oven mat. Make easy dump recipes and forget spills or splatters, because now cleanup's easy too. Plus it's reusable, so your oven will always sparkle. You can get dump cakes and dump dinners, plus the non-stick oven mat for $10. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-660-9785 to get your Dump Cakes cookbook on this special TV offer. Call now or go to buydumpcakes.com. So call 1-800-660-9785.
Good morning. My name is Aja Cruz, and we are here with Daren Miller, the former principal of Martin Luther King Middle School of Madera, California, and we will be doing a quick interview story with him, so stay tuned.
We are back. You are watching ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennice Najib.
And we just finished talking with Dennis Horn, and now we want to talk about Daren Miller. There's a case that's been going on for several years now in the Madera Unified School District.
For my information, it's been going on for approximately 5 years.
5 years, okay.
And I know I used to work at Madera Unified School District as a math teacher. And my own personal experience is, after a 2-year period there, I didn't get elected on as a permanent teacher, and I was dealing with my own personal racism and discrimination there also. But in his case, he's going through and fighting it, and he has some clear allegations and some clear evidence that he's being discriminated against as an administrator there. So I know personally that he shared with me, he's a Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity brother of mine, that he lost a lot of income. They demoted him for no reason at all. So my own experience, I had some discrimination issues there also. So you know, my heart is for him. I wish him all the well with that. So, you know.
So we're going to take a look at that interview with Aja Cruz, where she talked to Daren Miller to give us more insight on what has happened, what the next step is with Daren Miller, and what we can do as a community to help, because we notice that this is a common problem as far as there not being enough African American male administrators in higher.
It's not really African American male administrators, but not even African American male teachers in the subject of science, mathematics.
Some of those core subjects that are key.
And we have to have our role model. As you mentioned, the subject that happened in Scandinavia Middle School, one of the administration said they don't like African American students or black kids. So this is an example of what he's going through, and have to fight to be in a position of a head teacher, to give them a role model. And that shouldn't be they should be welcoming that kind of energy, that kind of diversity into that school district.
I see. So let's take a look at this interview with Daren Miller.
Good morning and welcome to ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Aja Cruz and we are here with Daren Miller, the former principal of Martin Luther King Middle School in Madera, California. With some brief history of who you are.
I'm finishing up my 25th year in education, all here in the Fresno, Clovis, Madera area. All of the grades, 7th grade through high school. I've worked at various schools in various school districts. I've started out at Washington Union, out in the south end of town. I've worked in Fresno Unified, a couple different campuses. I've worked at Clovis Unified, and currently I've spent the last 9 years working at Madera Unified.
Okay. So can you give us some background and some ongoing things of what's going on now with your current case?
Well, the case that we're talking about, I filed a racial discrimination and harassment suit against the district in 2010, and we're now in court after 5 years, 5-year wait and 3 different postponements. We're finally in court to hear the case. The case centers around the way that I was removed as principal at Martin Luther King Middle School during the 2009-2010 school year, and the harassment that went on from my then supervisors who no longer work for the district. Okay.
So can you give us a breakdown of things that is going on in the case and possibly a turning point?
Well, the turning point I hope is that ultimately that I'll prevail in this case. But the history of the case is that I was entered into Martin Luther King Middle School in 2006, 2007. At that time, I inherited a school that was in program improvement, and I inherited that school from my supervisor. The gentleman who's defendant in this case was actually the principal that I inherited the school from. 3 years later, we're making AYP, which is the federal guidelines, in all of our subcategories for the first time in the school's history. And that was for the 2008-2009 school year. And in October of 2009, the start of my 4th year, I'm giving administrative leave letter told to go home and not to come back.
So as of today, what is some outcome that you are looking for, possibly any frustrations, but anything you may be worried about at this point?
Well, because of the way that the situation was handled by the district and then releasing me, moving me from my position in October, I have not been able to get another job in the last 5 years. I've applied at numerous school districts in the Valley as well as in the Bay Area. Have gone as far as receiving letters of intent to hire for positions, and then ultimately the HR department for the district comes back in and says that they're going to rescind their offer of employment. So that definitely ties back to the way that this case was handled. There's no doubt in my mind that Madera Unified is continuously interfering with my ability to get to seek other employment, and the only way I can make myself whole professionally is to go to court and have my day in court. And as I said, hopefully we'll prevail. That the jury of my peers will see what was going on from the evidence that's presented, and reinstate me to a position where I can be back into administration where I should be.
Okay. The next question I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about the fairness of your jury pool with dealing with only 4 of your minorities?
It's interesting that you asked me that. From the whole pool, which there was 3 different sets of jurors that came in, there was only 2 African American men. I believe there was 4 African American women in the whole pool of over 100, about approximately 140 people. So, yeah, that's disheartening. The good part about it is that there's lots of people in there that's from the field of education, and so those are also my peers. And I believe that there's 3 of the 12 jurors that's on now, and one of the alternates who all come out of the field of education. So, although I can't get other African American men and women on the jury pool, unfortunately they weren't there, I do feel as though I'm amongst at least some of my peers professionally, and so that's a good thing.
So what is some advice that you could give to other African Americans within administration?
Just advice for African Americans, period, that when you believe that there's an injustice that's being done to you, when you feel like you've got undue pressure that's put on you, don't quit. Don't give up, don't fight. There are legal recourses and ways to go around it. In my particular case, I think that my bosses who took these actions against me assumed that I was going to just walk away and get away. And I'm in the 5th year of a $35,000 a year demotion.
Wow.
And thank God I've got a family that that supports me. I have a good support network that's here with me in town. My children, who were students at the time, are now older and adults, and so I don't have to really worry about those types of things. And so the good Lord works in mysterious ways, and obviously He believed that I could take on this pressure right now, and I'm going to hang on there as long as He provides me and allows me to do so.
Yes. I understand that could be very frustrating. But lastly, I would like to know, how do you feel about the lack of diversity within Madera and its Unified?
First of all, there's only been 2 African American principals in the school, me being the second. There's a gentleman, Dr. Ron Williams, who's now a superintendent down in Southern California, was the first principal of Martin Luther King. And I think it's ironic that Madera Unified, who's been in existence since 1966, the year I was born, has only had 2 African Americans as principals, site principals in their school district, and it happened to be at the same school, Dr. Martin Luther King Junior Middle School. It's ironic, and I know that although I'm making light of it, that I know that there was a purpose and an intention in putting us there because of the racial tones that goes along with this case, and the racial tones that exist in the city of Madera.
Well, we thank you for your time and your story. We are looking forward to hearing your results and hoping that there is some resolution and a positive outcome. I'm Aja Cruz here on ONME Sunday Mornings, and we'll be right back.
We just watched the interview with Daren Miller where he is explaining his case, why he needs the support from the community. And it's important that we know, and luckily there's media outlets like this so that we can be able to help and inform the public what's happening.
Well, my question is, the NAACP there, the organizations there that should support African Americans that's striving for their positions and fighting. It's very difficult being African American male or black men to fight and constantly fight for your position that should be rightfully yours. They should be more helping him and more assisting him to be more successful in that position.
And these will be the continual challenges that we have to get through as a community and also as a collective group, and to collaborate and be able to go to the next step. After the break, we'll hear an excerpt from Valley Black Talk Radio. You're watching ONME Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
Want to be a featured DIY expert on A&P TV Now News? Have 5 years experience in the field of knowledge you want to share with millions of viewers? Great. Find out how you can earn money by helping others make their lives better. DIY, do it yourself, can mean viewers are saving money, enhancing their lives, or looking at a more efficient way of doing a task. If you've got the information to share, we've got the hookup for the digital download. Find out more by going to news.amptvnow.com. That's news.amptvnow.com. Get help with sorting your finances by following the best DIY expert advice featured on A&P TV Now News. Get in-depth information throughout the week about the experts from news hosts Julia and Lennice, who do an in-depth report of what's in that $4.99 digital download. A digital load of information to help enhance your life, business, family, and more. See the latest DIY feature this week by checking out our website at news.amptvnow.com. That's news.amptvnow.com.
Welcome back to ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennice Najib.
Of course, we just got through watching the interview with Daren Miller. We also talked to Dennis Horn. There's been a lot going on in this program. And now we want to give you an excerpt of Valley Black Talk Radio, who talks about the latest things that are happening nationwide and locally. So let's go right into that excerpt right now. Let's take a look.
Yes, one of my former classmates from Tuskegee University, his name's Derek Jackson, actually did an interview on CNN. And they asked him how did he feel about cops and did he think all cops were bad. And he said that there's many times where we point the finger at their mistakes, but we have to realize that they are human. And humans, we do make mistakes, but when you make that mistakes, then you are responsible for those consequences. So it was a very good interview. I didn't get to see the entire interview, but he made some good points about us also being so negative and also not thinking about the police officer, and he's also being taken away from his family now before, a mistake that he has made.
Presumably a mistake.
Presumably.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, it may not be, right? If it's some kind of initiation thing, it wouldn't be. I have to say, I think Jacoya is so right. We have to do something other than demonstrate, but the problem is until... I had trouble with that Black Lives Matter thing originally because I thought, but
you thought it was too much of a coined phrase? Is that what it was?
I thought I agreed with the people that say, all lives matter. A different phrase would have been better, but I totally agree with it now because I find it really sad and indicative that on the chance that someone who is gay might be discriminated against in Indiana, the entire nation flew into an uproar and started canceling all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
They freed a killer cop in the case of Eric Garner. Nobody canceled anything in New York.
Nope.
Nobody except us. So, I believe that there are a lot of white people of goodwill, a lot of white people who are concerned, but until they are as concerned as we are, nothing is going to change because we can't do it alone. We're not enough of the population. We don't own enough of the corporations. The black heads of corporations, McDonald's, I think Pepsi, I'm not sure. They're not going to say, well, we're pulling our business out of New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so all we have then is the corporations that are black owned and operated. In other words, not just a black face leading it, but owned and operated. And even if they pulled out their conventions and business, wouldn't be that much until white people of goodwill say, you know what, we are not going to New York until another grand jury is convened and there's a much better investigation or whatever.
And with that excerpt, that finishes up our program with ONME Sunday Mornings, and Valley Black Talk Radio is on every Sunday from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And before that, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., you get to hear rebroadcasts of AMPTV Now News. We can't get all 5 days in there because I know we're on 5 days a week, so we can't get that all into the program. But you can always hear it on 1680 a.m. if you're here in the Valley, or listen online at 1680am.amptv now. Well, we hope you enjoyed this segment of ONME Sunday Mornings. We want everyone to have a great week. Any final words you want to say?
Have a wonderful week, and we'll be right back.
I already said that. We'll be right back. We're closing out. We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching this edition of ONME Sunday Mornings. Have a great week.